translate කරන්න අමාරුයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා time එක. අනික තමයි I think that now you studied the certificate, diploma, advanced diploma. Now I think you used. දැන් යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට use වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉතින් මේ කියන ඒවා තේරුම් ගන්න උත්සාහ කරන්න. But don't worry if you are unable, you will tell me. But time to time I summarize. Not A to Z translation the English to Sinhala. නමුත් මම summary එකක් දෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉතින් උත්සාහ කරන්න තේරුම් ගන්න. Yes. And now introduction to the course. Then here introduction to the course. I think your course. That's why then. Then I want to correct your then course code. Yes, now it is okay. Then important messages I want to give you. Then you should know who conduct lectures. So my name is here. I am attached to the Department of Business Administration, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce. Then I conducted lectures for your programs, I think 3-4 years back. But some years also I conducted management and organization behavior for the certificate and diploma courses. But I more focused teaching in master program. I think I did organization behavior with Udanga sir, as well as the strategic management. Then I think for 4-5 years. Then from your first batch master degree program. Then you know that who is myself. Then I want to give you important things. This is my picture because unfortunately I can't switch on the video because the data problem. Yeah, I'll just show you your course outline. The 10 weeks are there. The 10 sessions, 10 weeks. Then the students, I think you can understand when I talk about these things, these are very simple. ඔගලන්ගේ සමස්ත semester එකේ term එකේ sessions 10ක් තියෙනවා. One session is, the time is 4.5 hours. The 4.5 hours. Then my name is earlier mentioned you. The contact details are there. My name as well as the mobile number. But course outline, each and everything is there in the course outline. I have just shown you the course outline. Now I think I have shown you course outline. I have sent you the correct one, the course outline. Then you can see, I think, can you see the course outline, students?
Yes, madam.
Yes. I think interaction is very important because when we are doing, I think, then this guide, the view is one page. It has gone like I want to. Yes, the Zoom. Yes, I hope that can you see the course outline? I little bit zoom it. Then your course code, course name, the academic year, then the course location, year 2, term 1, credits 3, 45 teaching hours. That's why this 10 session, because I'm not going to explain all these things. I think when you are free, you relaxedly go through your course outline, brief course, this introduction is there. What are the aims of this course? මේ පාඨමාලාවේ අරමුණු, කෙටි හැඳින්වීමක්, the learning outcomes. Later on I will explain. මේවා තමයි මේ course එකේ වරුණාම මම මේ ශිෂ්‍යගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. Your master degree program, this kind of a knowledge you have to enhance. මේ එකේ area එකක් පිළිබඳ දැනුම වැඩි කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි මේ පාඨමාලාව දීමේ අරමුණ. The student's role. Then later on I'll explain, because you are at the master level. The most of the things you have to self study rather than because everything is not provided by the lecturer. But you know that when you were in the school, or nowadays most of the tuition masters, they are giving each and everything, not like when you come to the postgraduate level, as well as in something like a little bit more than undergraduate. But when you come to the master level, you have to play a big role as a student. Learner centered learning. ඉතින් ශිෂ්‍යයා වැඩිපුර ප්‍රමාණයක් මහන්සියක් දරන්න ඕන. Now you can see I have given the course contents in the course outline. These are the 10 topics. You can see, I think, hope that all the students you can see from 1 to 10. Then these all topics are very essential to gain the knowledge on strategic management. This is the way we arrange for the 10 days. Then recommended readings I have given. Then 11 sessions are there, 11 topics, but I have managed with the 10 sessions. මේ topics 11ක් තිබ්බට මේක sessions 10කින් cover කරනවා. The references are, readings are given, but it is very essential because you are at the master level, I have mentioned you. Then other thing is, this is very important, the evaluation. Later on I'll discuss when I come to the PowerPoint presentation. I have just shown you the course outline. Then I think you have gone through these things in relaxedly. I have sent you the course outline. Yes. Now again I'll move to the PowerPoint. Yes. Then I have shown you the course outline because I have given to you 10 weeks, 4.5 hours, but 11 sessions are there, 11 topics. I have covered within 10 weeks, 4.5 sessions, half hours session. Then actually you should understand your main contact point is lectures. But this time, prevailing situation, I think today the class will be conducted on Zoom. But I don't know in future, based on the situation in the country, the lectures will be conducted physically. රට හොඳ වුණොත් සමහරලාට physically කරන්න පුළුවන්. Earlier also the department has planned to conduct the lectures physically. Unfortunately, prevailing the situation, it may be changed, but I don't know whether future situation. Then the next important thing, my teaching style, you know that somewhat different, because my teaching style is very important, interaction. Because when you come to the master level, then interaction is very important. Interaction කියන්නේ දැන් මගෙත් එක්ක interact වෙන්න ඕනේ within the lecture. Then when I ask something, then your experiences, all you and myself also are here to learn. දැන් මමත් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ගෙන් ගොඩක් දේවල්. So it is better to, I know that here most of the students, they have their own businesses. And other students, they are working for other organizations, but managerial level. Then you have many ideas, then your experiences. So it is better to share with others. Then interaction is very important. Don't afraid, because I am a very flexible person, not a strict person. So that's why I would like to interact with you. Don't worry, any student, you can feel free to express your ideas. Others should be respect. The respect is very important. Respect to others' ideas. Then I told you that later on I will explain something like in the country of Japan, you know that the people, each one bowed to each other. ඒ පිළිගන්නවා, අනිත් එක්කෙනාට ගරු කරනවා, respect. So I always respect your ideas. Others also, you should learn, you should adopt to respect others' ideas. තම කෙනෙක් අදහසකට ගරු කරන්න, අනිත් අයව පිළිගන්න, ගරු කරන්න, ඒ වගේ දේවල් පුරුදු වෙන්න ඕනේ. Now you know that in in the country of Japan, the business ethics, the courtesy, it is very important to bow each other. Then Japan රැස්වීමක් ඉවර වුණත් ඒ business ethic එකක් තමයි ඒගොල්ලන් එකිනෙකාට bow කරලා තමයි ඒ රැස්වීම අවසන් කරන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ එකිනෙකාට respect කරනවා. The other one is engagement. සහභාගීත්වය ඉතා වැදගත් වෙනවා. Engagement and approachable. මේ විෂයට ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන් එකට පිවිසලා වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. Beyond the textbook, normally I'm coming to discuss many practical things, examples and all that, not always limited to the textbook, going beyond that, because the strategic management is very living subject. So it is very important to go beyond the textbook. The theory we discuss, we bring it to practice. The other thing is very important now when you're in master level, let's have fun while you learn. Otherwise, it hates to you. May igana ganne එක enjoy කරන්න ඕනේ. Let's have fun while you are learning. While you are learning. That is very important. Otherwise, the hate of the subject and hate of the lecture and hate of the course. So that's why then always you make your lectures as enjoying and gain the knowledge also. Other important thing is what I need from you at the postgraduate level. Mama, me postgraduate level එකේ student කෙනෙක්ගෙන් a candidate කෙනෙක්ගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා a willingness to interact. My teaching style is mostly interact. When I ask something, don't afraid anything you can share related to that. And also your commitment is very important. කැපවීම to your learning. Because every day, I know that you are also busy, then I'm also busy. Sometimes some students, they have their own businesses. Then I have some experiences in past years for your program. I conducted lectures. Sometimes some students say, Madam, when we focused our degree program, our business totally collapsed. අපේ පාඩමාලාට අවධානය යොමු කරන්න ගියාම අපේ business එක කඩා වැටෙනවා. But that is the challenge. Then that is the challenge, how you can balance. That is also very important. How you can balance your business things in making their success as well as your course also. Because you are learning something to bring your business practice to success. Therefore, commitment at least per day. Then you spend 2 hours, 1 hour for your program. And positive attitude, that is the most important. Because if you don't have the positive attitude, dhanatmaka akalpaya, inspiration, motivation, if you don't have, what happened? Then something like you hate of the subject, you hate of the program. So from today itself, you can make a positive attitude, then we always help you. Then a positive attitude. Sufficient time allowance in commitment also, time commitment should be there. Then allocating a sufficient time per day for your studies. Then you are responsible for your learning. No one is behind you. Like when you were in the small age, your parents always guide you. But likewise not here. Then nobody is responsible. Your learning, you are the person responsible for your learning, but we are here for what? Then we are here to help, support, guide the way. But students are the responsible people for your studies. Now you can understand that what about my teaching style and what I expect from you. Then when I discuss the strategic management, very first I told you that I would like to share my experiences with you. But I little bit said myself. Actually, I did my master degree in local as well as in the country of UK, in University of London. And I did my PhD in Japan. I studied there 4 years period. So I have a lot of experiences in the country of Japan, because you know that in the country of Japan, what about the SME's contribution to the economy? You heard about that automobile industry, electronic items producing industry. SMEs play a big role because all the parts are manufactured by small and medium enterprises. Something like you think about the Toyota company. The Toyota company, they produce the automobiles, but only the company is done assemble the vehicle. But all parts are produced by SMEs. In electronic item producing any kind of electronic item, then when the company only they engage assemble the product, all parts are produced by small and medium enterprises. That's why Sri Lankan people also very happy to travel or very happy to go in the country of Japan. Why? To do the job in SMEs, because that much of number of SMEs are there to producing small items, parts of the major products done by the Japanese big companies. So I would like to share my experiences. In addition, I visited a lot of countries in New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, India, then Thailand, so etc. Because actually in India, I went to the business incubators. I studied the 2 weeks period of time, then how they help to small businesses to providing the technology, then to develop their businesses, business incubators, the technology they provide. So then I would like to share much of my experiences with you in different countries, in developed countries and developing countries. So those things are very important to you. Now, the other important things. Now you can see the learning outcomes. මම හිතනවා මෙතෙන්ට කිව්වේව සිංහලෙන් කියන්න ඕනේද? නැහැ නේද? Students, ඔයගලන්ට පැහැදිලිද? මම කැමති මගේ experiences මම ඔයගලත් එක්ක share කරගන්න. Students, කවුරුනි මොන හරි කියන්න ගියා කියන්න. Is there anything to say? Okay, hope that. If you want any clarification, please ask me, students. Now I am coming the course, strategic management. Strategic management, learning outcomes. Then මේ විෂය ඉගෙන ගත්තට පස්සේ මම මුලදීත් කිව්වා මේ විෂය ඉතාමත්ම වැදගත්. මේ විෂයෙන් අපි මොනවද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ? learning outcomes. මේ කියන්නේ ඉගෙනුම් ඵල කියන එක. අද ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා අධ්‍යාපනයේ in education හැම වෙලාවෙම ශිෂ්‍යයාගේ පැත්තෙන් බලලා ඒගොල්ලන් මොනවද ඒගොල්ලෝ අන්තිමට මේ විෂයෙන් දෙන්නේ, එතනින් තමයි අපි පටන් ගන්න. Now you know that first one. The whole course we discuss the complexity and different perspective of a strategy in complex business environment. මේ වෙනස් වෙන පරිසරයක් තුළ මේ විෂය තුළ ඉගෙන ගන්නවා මොනවද තියෙන විවිධ සංකීර්ණතා, මේ විවිධ දෘෂ්ටි කෝණයන් මේ strategy making. කොහොමද අපි ආයතනයක strategy එකක් හදන්නේ in very complex uncertainty then business environment. ඒක තමයි තාම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. අපි ඒ දැනුම දෙනවා. Analyze the strategic management process. To formulate the strategies for an organization, it should be follow a process. අපි ආයතනයකට strategies හදලා ඒවා implement කරන්න යනකොට theory එකේ කතා කරනවා process එක. Then various approaches to strategic planning in modern day organizations. But you are learning. කොහොමද අද ගත්තහම වර්තමානයේ ඉන්න 21st century organization, how the managers, then that kind of a knowledge we enhance, how apply the strategic management process and to formulate and implement the strategies. කොහොමද ආයතනයකට සාර්ථකව උපාය මාර්ග formulate කරලා implement කරා. That kind of knowledge. And preview the business environment. That is the most important, realistically. අද වර්තමානයේ කොහොමද ව්‍යාපාර පරිසරය අපි අවබෝධ කරගන්නේ? And craft the strategies. ඒකට අනුව craft කරන්න. strategy එකක් mold කරන්න, හදන්න. දැන් මැටි හදන මිනිස්සෙක් එයාගේ හදන මැටි භාණ්ඩ එයා අතින් ලස්සනට මේ එයාගේ skills knowledge අනුව එයා ලස්සනට ඒක හදනවා. ඒ වගේ how we can craft the strategies. Now we are coming to discuss how craft strategies practically and select the best strategies among the alternatives. Various kinds of strategies are there. How we can select the best one to my organization. Successfully implement Sarthakava Kriyatmaka Karan for the organization sustainable success and growth. Aitane Pavatma Saha Vardhane. Finally, all the topics you have learned, then every student is able to prepare. තමන්ගේ business එකට හරියට strategic plan එකක් හදාගන්න. Otherwise, or corporate plan, prepare, or existing plan you monitor. Then you are able to critique. This place is wrong. This strategy is wrong. Then the strategy development is wrong. Our vision is wrong. Our mission is wrong. Then we did not properly develop our goals and objectives. Then new or ongoing organization. For a new organization, how you can prepare the corporate plan, the existing organization, how you can monitor and critique and develop or modify your existing plan. Then this kind of knowledge at the end, you have to gain after having followed this course. දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට පැහැදිලිද මේ පාඨමාලාව හැදෑරුවට පස්සේ මේ දැනුම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Time to time I explain in Sinhala also. මට හිතෙනවා මේක ඕගොල්ලන්ට අවබෝධ වෙන්න ඇති. කොහොමද මේ සංකීර්ණ පරිසරය අවබෝධ කරගන්නේ වෙනස් වෙන පරිසරය තුල strategy එකක් formulate කරන්න ගියාම plan කරන්න ගියාම තියෙන සංකීර්ණතා විවිධ දෘෂ්ටිකෝණයන් විවිධ ප්‍රවේශයන් මොනවාද strategic management වල එතකොට realistically business environment එකක් කොහොමද analyze කරන්නේ අපි කොහොමද practically select කරන්නේ හොඳම strategy එකක් එතකොට මේ ඒ strategy එක අපේ ආයතනයේ success එකක් ගේනවා වගේම growth එකක් ඒක sustainable වෙන්න ඕනේ. You know that the small business organization after having started within 5 years most of them I think more than 75% of organization they collapse. ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා statistically අද ගත්තාම බොහෝ SMEs ආරම්භ කරලා අවුරුදු 5ක් වගේ යනකොට විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් කඩා වැටෙනවා. Then finally every student හැම student කෙනෙක්ම හැකියාව තියෙන්න ඕනේ corporate plan එකක් හදන්න නැත්නම් තියෙන එකක් monitor කරලා අඩුපාඩු හඳුනගෙන ඒක critique කරලා නැවත හොඳ එකක් හදාගන්න මේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. So these are the learning outcomes. Students, have you understood? So far, is there any problem? Please tell me, because I think meeting you first time through a subject. I know that you are not other master program students because you are unique type of students because most of the students, they are carrying out a business or some students, they are working for other organizations because the somewhat nature is different rather than the other postgraduate students. So that's why I ask. So far, is it good or have you understood? Nobody is talking. I don't know.
Yes, madam. Understood, madam.
Yeah, understood. As students, you should be honest because I know I have experiences also. Some students, they are shying, pretending. Then they are participating online lectures. Sometimes you do your own thing. Then may make a pennanawa inno කියලා. නමුත් නැහැ. I think සමහර ලාට මම පොඩ්ඩක් නම එහෙම කියලා point out කරනවා. I can see the names and all that. So then I can ask something. But don't afraid. Don't shy. Don't be shy. මේ තමන්ගේ අදහසක් කියන්න එහෙම ලැජ්ජ වෙන්න ඕනේ. Others also don't laugh to each other. අනිත් අය දැනගන්න ඕනේ තව කෙනෙක් මොනවා හරි කිව්වහම එයාව පහලට දාන්න නෙමෙයි. එයාට hina වෙන්න නෙමෙයි. ඒක තමයි අපේ තියෙන මිනිස්සුන්ගේ හැටි. මේ ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට අපි ideas share කරන්න ඕනේ. වැරදුනාට කමන්නේ. Don't worry because we are not perfect people. So then it is very important at this level sharing the things and interact. Okay. The other important thing, assessment. how to assess your course. Make a thamai tama වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. Very first day you should understand. Continuous assessment, because postgraduate level we are allocating 50% for the continuous assessment. Other 50% goes to the final exam. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ term එකේ අන්තිමට දෙන exam එකට ලකුණු 50යි continuous වලට 50. But final paper we just to we set to the 100 but calculate to 50. But other 50 you can collect continuous assessment. Sometimes this time I would like to give you 3 activities, but last time I have given the 4, but I think this time then having problems. So then I limited to 3 activities. If you want any suggestions, I can also change. Then I ask all the students to get the maximum marks out of the given continuous assessments marks. May 50න් maximum ගන්න උත්සාහ කරන්න. Because you can relaxly collect the marks. You can ask someone and you can do as groups. කණ්ඩායම් විදියට කරන්න පුළුවන්, තව කෙනෙක්ගේ අහගන්න පුළුවන්, වෙලාව තියෙනවා, time is there. So this time I decided like that way. So later I will show you what kind of assessments I hope to conduct this time. ඒක නිසා මේ continuous assessments වලින් උපරිම ලකුණු ගන්න. All the students, you will try to get the maximum marks out of the given marks for the continuous assessments. Then because final examination means you have to come to here and 3 hours paper. If you are, what about your position within these 3 hours, it affects to your exam. Something like you will get 6, it affects, but not like in continuous assessment. You can do it very relaxedly and ask someone. Therefore, I will guide you what are the continuous assessments activities. The continuous assessments, if you want any change, please tell me. This time, other years, I have given also the individual assignments. But I thought of that it is better to give the group assignment. One is, this is the group assignment 1. Because last time I have given 4, that's why. Yes. Now you can see the continuous assessments. Very first day you should understand. Because today there are 28 students. Because all the students, you share these things. The students who are unable to participate today, they should enhance. Because otherwise, at the end, some student will come and say, Madam, I don't know. But you can't say this word. That's why the very first day I will discuss. The group assignment 1 is case analysis and presentation. It should be done as a group. Do you like to do a group or individually? I will give you the case and give the guidelines. Mama case එකක් දෙනවා, guidelines උත් දෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ case එක analyze කරලා guidelines වලට අනුව presentation එකක් කරන්න. එතකොට analyze කරපු content එකටයි presentation එකටයි ලකුණු හම්බ වෙනවා. Then allocated 50 20 marks. ඒකට ලකුණු 20ක් දෙනවා. If you like to do individually, doesn't matter, I will change. Because every time I will give you the chance. Because otherwise at the end, there are no any blames. Okay. The group assignment 2. If you wish to do individually, I can change. I will give you the practical assignment, but not yet decided. But I will give you each and every guideline later on, because today is very first day. After having passed 5-6 sessions, topics, I will give you the practical assignment. Something like you have to select the practical organization or your organization, your own organization, or where are you working in your organization, select, and something like review the existing strategic plan. තියෙන plan එක නැත්නම් තමන්ගේ ආයතනයේට plan එකක් හදන්න. ඒ වගේ assignment එකක් දෙනවා. තියෙන plan එක criticize කරන්න, suggestions දෙන්න, අන්න ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. It is a practical assignment, 20 marks. Then if you want to do individually, I will change it. Other one is overall the batch. I think your batch I heard about that around 40 students. Unfortunately, today is something like a 28. One student also left now. එයාට එපා වෙලා වෙන්නේ නැති එක්කෙනෙක් ගිහිල්ලා දැන් 29 හිටියා. I can 28 හිටියා මං අර. දැන් එක්කෙනෙක් ගිහිල්ලා. Doesn't matter. Something like we don't know, some maybe uncontrollable issue.
Excuse me, madam.
Sorry, yes. Yes.
Madam, actually I logged with the 2 device and I leave one. Sorry.
Okay, Puta. Yeah, I understood. I thought of that one student has already left, but if you actually, I appreciate highly because she provided the what happened. Then when an honest, trustworthy student. Okay, thank you, Puta. Then final one, the third assignment. Then organizing a strategic forum, because it is better to have the practical experiences. Then make it කරන්න ඕනේ. Then make a group batch එකම ඉන්න ඕනේ 40ක් විතර. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා doesn't matter to conduct in online. මේ දවස්වල online කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then in the evening or something like 7 to 9 o'clock or 7 to 8:30. Maximum inviting corporate the own business owners, managers, CEOs. Then podi ව්‍යාපාර ආයතනයක වුණත් ඕන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් medium size, large size. ඒ managers ලා ගෙනල්ලා then a suitable team you identify. What happened to because of this kind of issue, the social, political, economical, financial issues, how you respond to this crisis situation via strategies. එතකොට මොන කොහොමද strategies වලින් මේ crisis එකට මුහුණ දුන්නේ? නැත්නම් success වුණු strategies මොනවාද? failure වුණු strategies මොනවාද? Then we can share their experiences, how they formulate strategies. ඇත්තට මේ ආයතන කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ strategies formulate කරලා implement කරන්නේ? That kind of a thing is called as a strategic forum. අපිට පුළුවන් ඒ වගේ 3-4 දෙනෙකුට invite කරලා. I know that you know very you know that relationships with good business people, and something like some students, they have their own businesses also, your friends also, you can invite and conduct a strategic forum. Each and everything should be done by yourself. Because I will act as an observer and give the marks, 10 marks, because the whole the batch you will organize. That's why I have list weighted 10 marks for that. Later on, I will guide you. Then we can arrange. I will prepare the Zoom link and everything. But you are the students, each and everything organized. Because last, I think 3-4 years, the students, they organize the past batches, your program. They organize the strategic forum. We share a lot of things because we are given the chance to ask anything from the people who are invited. I think මේකට පුළුවන් මට මතකයි ගිය පාර එහෙම 4 දෙනෙක් invite කරලා තිබ්බා. එක්කෙනෙක් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම gender balance ඕනේ, lady කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ experiences share කරනකොට අනිත් අයට අවස්ථාව දුන්නා ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ business සාර්ථක වුණු strategies, failure වුණු strategies, කොහොමද how they face the COVID-19, because the last 2 years that crisis was there. So then this is the thing, practical thing. Yes, instructions will be given during the lectures. Don't worry, students. Behind myself, each and everything is guided. Is there anything? Do you like to do group wise, or what about individual wise? These 2 assignments, first 2. Tell me, students.
Group wise, okay. Group wise, okay.
Group wise, okay. I think one student talk about, I don't know others' views. What about? Hope that all the students, do you agree to do the group basis?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Next week I will give you the group formation sheet. Okay, if you like to do all as a group, the group formation sheet. මම group formation sheet එකක් හදනවා. ඒකේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ group එකකට leader කෙනෙක් හඳුනගෙන what about the 5 students? I think I heard about that there are 40 students in your class. I decided to make the groups including 5 members. Members la pahak ඇතුළත් කරලා මම හදන්න කැමතියි. ඒක නිසා
excuse
sorry.
madam. Yeah, excuse madam.
Yes.
Already we have a group starting
Yeah.
from
How many members?
5 members. Each group 5 members is there.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
2
Doesn't
or
matter.
3 groups
Doesn't
more
matter.
than 5.
Sorry.
2 or 3 groups is there, more than 5 I think. For others 5 members group is
I think that, yeah, later I will see. Sometimes maybe like 43 students, 3 students I ask to join any group. Because if there are exactly 40, I can divide not remaining any student 5 equally. But something like some, if there are not like something like equally dividing number, then some students, they want to join any other group. Doesn't matter, but the minimum number 5. අවම වශයෙන් 5ක් ඉන්න ඕනේ. දැන් තමත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ groups තියෙනවා 5 groups. අර කිසියම් student කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එකකට දෙකකට තුනකට 6 ගානේ, it doesn't matter. Then however, but I normally give you the group formation sheet. දැන් ඒ ඉන්න groups උනත් කමන්නේ. හැබැයි මට group formation sheet එක පුරවලා ඕනේ. මොකද when I allocate marks, I need some your names as well as the index numbers. That's why. Next week I will give you, then you can fill and back to me to coordinating office, your department, then I will collect from there. Soft copy, it is okay, I will send you. Yes, what about regarding these 3 continuous assessments? Do you agree? I think the last one, I think you can agree. You are very good then, because the past couple of years I have experienced, they organize a good strategic forum because they have good relationships with business people. They invited, and I think the last time also I can remember one of the entrepreneur is there. I think she is a graduate also. She has a business, small business, then producing sweets. Then එයාගේ business එක තමයි sweets හදන එක. Then you know that she talk about a lot. What about the success of the company, of the organization, and what kind of strategies she applied the success, and what about the future of that organization. Everything is shared by, she is the owner of the company, she is an entrepreneur, she is a graduate. So you can see very practically and sharing the experiences from practice. Then that's why I normally conduct a strategic forum in each year at your level. Do you agree to do it? What about? Is it okay? Nobody is talking. For that also you have to, yes. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Then you are good students. Then I think you agree all these 3. I will guide you, giving the guidelines and each and everything to conduct the strategic forum, but everything is organized by you, but I can prepare the Zoom link and the necessary other things. Okay. Yes, you can invite other past students, your friends and all that to, you know, that success your strategic forum. But the students, they comparing, doesn't matter in singular English or bilingual. Then එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ, English වලින් කරන්න පුළුවන්, සිංහලෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්, bilingual වලින් කරන්න පුළුවන් strategic forum එක. Doesn't matter to share the knowledge. ඉතින් ඔක්කොම ඔයගලන් poster එකක් හදලා, flyer එකක් හදලා share කරලා. I think the different kinds of skills having the students are here. So then you show your competencies, you show your talents, then how to organize a strategic forum, and what about it, I will give the marks. එතකොට 10න් 9ක් හම්බුනොත් ඔක්කොටම 9 හම්බෙනවා. That's why equal contribution is very essential. Okay, later on I will guide you. The next one is plagiarism. Have you heard about this word, plagiarism? Now you know that these days a lot of sources are there. We can get the things. Internet and other kind of technological things are there. A large number of sources. Then api assignment එකක් දුන්නාම, when we give an assignment, some students they go to the internet and cut and paste, they write, but not referring, and produce their own thing, their own work. They copied from other thing, but not properly refer and produce your thing. That is called as plagiarism. Have you understood? Then අපේ assignments දුන්නාම ගොඩක් students ගිහිල්ලා internet එකට or previous students ගිහිල්ලා ඒකම copy කරලා as it is, then you produce your work. ඔයාගේ වැඩක් විදියට ඒක පෙන්නනවා. ඔයා ලියපු දේවල් එහෙම කියලා. එතකොට plagiarism. You know that nowadays also then softwares are there and to check the plagiarism. Therefore, at this level, you careful. You can read from any source. ඕනම තැනකින් ඕන දෙයක් කියවන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ දේවල් ගන්නත් පුළුවන්, but properly refer. In references, in citations, you properly refer. අහවල් එක්කෙනාගේ අහවල් පොතෙන් මම මේක ගන්නවා. Refer කරන්න ඕනේ. That is not the plagiarism. ඒක plagiarism නෙමෙයි. Therefore, that thing also very important at this level. And I think you always familiar with the university LMS. Why? I think for your program also, I don't know what about then having the LMS. Every time you learning other important messages, everything is in their LMS. The assignments guidelines, the science they are in the LMS. Then university LMS is here in management. Then you can enter. I think you are having the password and the username. I think you are familiar with to access the LMS. Other thing is, in the course outline, I have mentioned the references. These are some of the referred textbooks in preparing the lecture notes and all that. So you can also go and refer these textbooks. But unfortunately, all of them are in English language. But I told you that you used to read. Because you know that I know. When you start to read, පටන් ගත්තහම එපා වෙනවා. ඇයි දන්නේ නැති වචන ගොඩයිනේ. සමහරවිට sometimes when you have to read one para, then 15 to small para, 5 or 10 lines, something like your 50 times go to search the meaning or refer the dictionary. සමහරවිට එතකොට එපා වෙනවනේ. But you know that in reading some tips are there. දැන් අපි පැරා එකක් කියනකොට විවිධාකාර readings ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. සමහර වචන අපි දන්නේ නැත්නම් skip කරන්න පුළුවන්. But I can understand that para can be understood skipping some words. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉතින් සමහර අපහසු මේවා අපි dictionary එකෙන් නැත්නම් internet එකෙන්ම search කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් එහෙම කරනකොට කොච්චර වචනත් ඉගෙන ගන්නවද කියලා බලන්න. If you learn new words, 5 words per day, what happened 1 week? 35. දවසකට වචන 5ක් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් for week 35. Then what happened to 1 month? If you read 1 year, if during your program 2 years, how many vocabulary? Then what about the vocabulary? How many words you studied? Then I think commitment is very important. If you say I can't, but nothing a step go to forward. Therefore, you try to enhance your vocabulary of the English. Yes. Attendance, I don't know what happened. Then this time something like going online lectures. So I don't know in future, maybe in physically. Then your department will decide what about the attendance level. Therefore, you always careful about to maintain your attendance. As much as possible, you try your best to participate the lectures. The participating lectures will enhance your knowledge. Otherwise, somewhat difficult. You can study, and you know that our students, they study like a parrot. Then 3 days before you make a group, doesn't matter. Making teams and group is very important for the purpose of studies. But you are doing only for the exam. But when you sit for the exam, when you sat for the exam, strategic management, the following day, nothing is in the mind. That is the thing. So throughout the semester, you learn something and logically understand and keep the things in your mind, the important things for the whole life, you can remember. අර අපේ learning style එක තියෙන්නේ අපි කටපාඩම් කරන එකනේ, like a parrot. විභාගෙට දවස් 2-3ක් තියලා ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් ගන්න. විභාග සමත් වෙනවා. But what about the knowledge? That is the most important. If you gain the knowledge, you have a good self-confidence, because throughout the semester you study well. Yes. If any clarification, if there is any clarification, please ask me. Regarding the introduction to the course, is there any clarification? Students? What about? Is it okay? If you want anything to tell me, ask. More explanation, please ask me.
So far, okay, madam.
Yes, good. Yeah, so far so good. I hope that you understand. If you want any clarification, please ask me. I think you understood this is very important, your continuous assessments, what kind of activities you have to do at the very first, and having some kind of understanding regarding the overall course on the strategic management. This is introductory session is very important, because you should understand this course, what kind of a way we have to do the continuous assessments, the exam, and who conducts the lecture, and what about the important other aspects. Now I'll move to discuss the first topic. Then I'm not going to again show you the course outline. According to the given course outline, then your subject on strategic management, I think in the course outline, the first topic, introduction to strategy and strategic management. In strategic management, the two key terms are strategy and strategic management. Throughout the course, the word comes like strategy. You should understand. In the very first lecture, introduction to strategy and strategic management, it provides something like a foundation knowledge. Key terms understanding and define, at the same time other necessary background. It is very important to follow rest of the topics on this subject. It provides by the first topic. Then අපි පළවෙනි පාඩම තමයි introduction to strategy and strategic management. පළවෙනි මාතෘකාව. අපි ඕනම විෂයක් ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට පළවෙනි මාතෘකාවෙන් කරන්නේ introduction එක. ඒකෙදි කරන්නේ අපේ key concepts. මේ විෂයට අදාළ ප්‍රධාන සම්බන්ධ වෙන පද හෝ සංකල්ප අපි අවබෝධ කරගන්න. ඒකට අනුව අපේ විෂය strategy and strategic management. These are the two key terms. Then you need to understand very clearly at the same time the necessary background. ඉතින් මේ පාඩමේ අර strategic management වල එන ප්‍රධානම strategy කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? strategic management කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? මේ දෙක දන්නේ නැතුව ඉතිරි මාතෘකා හදාරන්න බෑ. ඉතින් මේ පිළිබඳ යම් දැනුමක් අවශ්‍යයි, little bit more depth, because you are going to study strategic management. Without knowing the word strategy, how you are going to understand the rest of the things? You can ask yourself, think about yourself. ඒක නිසා අපි මේ පිළිබඳ අවබෝධයක් දෙනවා. Then you know that when we are going to construct a house, the strength of the house depends on the strength of the foundation. Very similar to that, the concepts or related terms clearly understood, you can easily understand the rest of the things. ඉතින් ඒකට ෆවුන්ඩේ අපි ගයක් හදුවාම ගේක ශක්තිමත් භාවයේ තියෙන්නේ ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් එකේ ශක්තිය මත නම් අන්න ඒ වගේ තමයි මේ first topic එක. Very similar to that. The first topic of strategic management. It provides strength in your background knowledge to follow the rest of the topics on strategic management. Then this topic. Normally, I am giving in each topic what is the contents. On the other way, learning outcomes. මේ මාතෘකාවේ අන්තිමට මොනවද ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගත්තේ? එක්ක මේකේ content එක. මේ දෙකම යන්නේ parallelly. ඉතින් ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් today's topic on introduction to strategy and strategic management. What are the things you are going to study? At the end of the topic also, you can ask yourself whether I have gained the knowledge in each area. In course outline, not a detailed one, then the broader topic is given. But when it comes to lecture, then in each lecture topic, then we are giving the contents. The first thing in this topic, we are going to understand strategy. Actually, I know that all you are having a common understanding. When I ask a strategy, I can hear about a lot of ideas, but you should know correctly in the course on strategic management, how we can define the term strategy. And in understanding how origin, because you are studying the strategic management, කොහොමද මේ strategy එක define කරන්නේ? මේක origin උනේ කොහොමද? How it is originated? Then today we concern about that there are some types of strategies. And what are the features of good strategy in organizations to success? We are coming to discuss. And we come to define organization strategy. We understood the strategy here, but we need to understand organization strategy after having understood the strategy. Strategy in a term එක understand කළාම අපි එන organization strategy. Why? You are following academic discipline, the academic discipline of strategic management. So then students, you are studying strategy in organizational context. අපි ව්‍යාපාර ලෝකයේ ව්‍යාපාර සංවිධානයක තමයි strategy එක හඳුනගන්නේ. ඒක නිසා organizational strategy කියන එක ඉතා වැදගත්. Then other thing is strategic management. You know that you need to understand what about the strategic management. Strategic management. Organization strategy and strategic management. Then other necessary background. The other points, we will discuss the other necessary background. Role of strategic management in an overall management. Then ආයතනයක් කළමනාකරණය කරනකොට මොකක්ද කාර්යය? At the same time, in an organization, how differentiate the strategic management? In shortly, strategic management, it says that the abbreviation SM, strategic management. Differentiate strategic management from other functional areas. Now you know that. Can you tell me business functions of an organization? Some examples. I think some students, they came from diploma, postgraduate diploma, advanced diploma, certificate level. I think you studied the management. I am asking you, in an organization, what are the business functions? Can you give some examples for business functions? Further, I am something like a simple way of asking, manufacturing and selling organization, manufacturing and selling a good or service. What are the business functions? භාණ්ඩයක් හෝ සේවාවක් භාණ්ඩයක් නම් නිෂ්පාදනය කළා සේවාවකුත් නිෂ්පාදනය කළා විකුණන ආයතනයක මොනවාද ව්‍යාපාර ශ්‍රිත? What are the business functions?
Operation.
Students? Sorry.
Operation, marketing,
Yeah. Yes.
HRM, finance.
Yes. Yes. Good. Operations means production, finance, marketing, HRM, some organization, information technology, research and development. All these are business functions. How strategic management differentiate from these business functional areas? Meanwhile, strategic management venas වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? That is very important. Other thing is importance of a strategic management in present organizational context, in contemporary business world. Contemporary කියන්නේ සමකාලීන ව්‍යාපාර ලෝකයේ තුල strategic management වල වැදගත්කම. Finally, evolution of a strategic management in organizations from history to now. අතීතයේ ඉඳලා අද වෙනකන් කොහොමද මේ විෂය මේ කළමනාකරණය විකාශනය වුණේ සංවිධානයක. Then different eras, how practice the strategic management in an organization. We are coming to understand from history to now. අතීතයේ ඉඳලා අද වෙනකන් ව්‍යාපාර සංවිධානවල කොහොමද මේ strategic management කියන එක practice වුනේ, evolve වුනේ, විකාශනය වුනේ. Now you understood what you are going to learn. All the students, I know that this time is very bad. Sometimes I can see you are here, but your mind is going all over the world. Some students are feeling sleepy. Not in the lesson. I know it is difficult because your lectures are continuously 4.5 hours. I will give you, don't worry, the small break in between, but straightly it is difficult. Think about myself also. 4.5 hours, how straightly discuss, talking. But in the morning also, not today, other days I have postgraduate classes, sometimes the 8 hours I discuss, or 7 hours I discuss straightly. How far it is so difficult, but anyway, I used to it. Then these are the things, because you can concentrate, you know that that's why then you enjoy your learning. The strategic management is very living subject, so many experiences you also interact and share. Also I will share some experiences and examples, practical examples. Yes, the first thing is we move to understand what is a strategy. Yes, I would like to ask you, based on your experiences, I know that some students, they are having their own business. Some students, they are entrepreneurs. Some students, they are working as managers in another organization. Some students, they are working as employees in another organization. What do you feel about the strategy? Strategy. Now you can see this picture also, something like we are somewhat familiar with the strategy in a war situation. Now you heard about that nowadays in the world, Russia and Ukraine, then each other is fighting, the very severe war between Russia and Ukraine. You heard about when you see newspapers, when you listen news, then 1,000 times you can hear about the word strategy. What you feel about the strategy? Students, ideas in Sinhala, in English, whatever the language. Strategy. I just ask you, based on your experiences, based on your knowledge regarding when you are working in different organizations, students.
එතන එක විෂන් එකට යන්න පුළුවන් බලාපොරොත්තුවට යන්න පුළුවන් දී.
Then something like thing, something he talk about something that leads to reach vision. Is that correct? Vision එකක් කරා ළඟා වෙන්න මේ යන දෙයක් තමයි මේ strategy කියන්නේ. Something that leads to reach vision. Other students? එයා කිව්වේ vision එක කරා ළඟා වෙන්න ඒ guide කරන දෙයක්, ඒ ක්‍රමයක්, the way is identified as strategy. What about other students? මං කියවනේ කතා කරන්න කියලා.
long
නේද?
term
ආයතනයේ තිබෙන දීර්ඝකාලීන අරමුණු ඉෂ්ට කර ගැනීම සඳහා වන ක්‍රියාමාර්ග කිහිපයක් බොහෝ දුරට ඒක top management එකෙන් ගන්න ක්‍රියාමාර්ග කිහිපයක්.
Then he talk about that some kind of activities, current activities to focus to achieve long-term goals of an organization. එයාගේ අදහස තමයි ආයතනයක දිගු කාලීන අරමුණු ළඟා කර ගැනීම සඳහා ගන්න ලබන ක්‍රියාමාර්ග. එක්ක කාර්යය. Yes, good. What else? Others? Do you have any ideas? සමහරු කියන්න පුළුවන් හරි සරලව the way of achieving something. යම් දෙයක් achieve කරගන්න ආකාරය. The way of achieving something. යමක් achieve කරගන්න ආකාරය. මම students ලා මේ pencil එක use කරලා මේ කරන්නේ ටිකක් අපහසුයි writing something like but when I use this something like you can understand easily, that's why I use the pen. Not properly write in a nice way like when you write on a whiteboard or smartboard. Yes, good. Some students, they have provided the ideas like something like an activity, the way of achieving something. Some says that it focuses to the vision. Vision is also a long-term achievement, or sometimes organization long-term goals to achieve what kind of things or guides. It can be identified as strategy. Yes, now we will see something like starting from all these ideas are correct, partially correct, or something like based on your experience in your where you are working in your context, this understanding is very correct, very correct. But you are studying a subject, then we will come some the systematically understand the term strategy. Now you can see, what do you mean by strategy? What do you mean by strategy? Some students put in the chat box also a detailed action plan to achieve a goal. Yes, in an organization context, the strategy means action plan. Then detailed action plan to achieve a goal. ආයතනයක නම් අරමුණ ඉටු කරගන්න මේ විස්තරාත්මකව ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙන සැලසුම. Any decision which helps to achieve long-term and short-term goals. Something like in an organization, long-term or short-term goals to achieve, then something like decision, we can identify it as a strategy. So anyway, all these are correct. All these are correct. Your understanding regarding the strategy. But systematically we study something like partially correct. When you start to study some subject, you need to understand correctly. But all your views, ideas, based on your knowledge, based on your experiences, they are correct. They are correct to understand the strategy. But there is no universally accepted single definition. Because when I ask, now you can see some students, they based on their experiences, based on their knowledge, then they identify it as something like a different ways. Some similar features are there. They ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ කලින් කිව්වා අදහස් සමානයි. නමුත් විවිධ අදහස් තියෙනවා. I think strategy එකක් define කරන්න ලෝකෙම පිළිගත් single definition එකක් නැහැ. That's why the universally accepted definition for the term, there is no. Thus, it is commonly accepted. පොදුවේ ගත්තහම අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් in a simple and shortly, commonly ඕනම තැනකට apply කරගන්න පුළුවන්. A strived or smart way of determining and achieving one's goals and objectives. කෙනෙක්ගේ අරමුණු සහ පරමාර්ථ තීරණය කිරීම, ළඟා කරගන්න ආකාරය තීරණය කිරීම, smart, good way. shrewd. අපේ shrewd කියන්නේ cunning, කපටි විදියට. මේ cunning කියලා කියන්නේ something like a intelligent way. Intelligent, බුද්ධිමත් ආකාරයට, wisely. නරක විදියට නෙමෙයි, wisely or intelligent. That is why the cunning also. Nowadays also some business organizations, they decide some cunning way of determining their goals and objectives as well as determining how to achieve them. But in definition, we understood that something like in a intelligently, wisely, in a good way of, there are two parts. Today, it is accepted that determining goals and objectives as well as determining how to achieve them, both are there in understanding the term strategy. මං කිව්ව එක පැහැදිලිද? අද ගත්තහම මේ strategy එක පොදුවේ ගත්තහම ඒකට අන්තර්ගත වෙනවා parts දෙකක්. Determining and achieving one's goals and objectives. කෙනෙක්ගේ අරමුණු පරමාර්ථ තීරණය කිරීම. දැන් කෙනෙක්ගේ කිව්වා මෙතන ගන්න පුළුවන් organization එකක්. Organization එක අරමුණු පරමාර්ථ තීරණය කිරීමක්, ඒවා ළඟා කරගන්න ආකාරය ඉතාමත් බුද්ධිමත් නුවණකාර විදියට good way කපටි ආකාරයට තීරණය කිරීම. මම කියුවා ඒ shrewd කියන්නේ cunning. ඒ cunning එක should be in intelligence. Intelligent way, wisely. That is the strategy. Strategy means a shrewd or smart way of determining and achieving one's goals and objectives. You can apply any kind of situation, this kind of definition commonly to understand what is a strategy. Now you know that some examples also I have given later. Yes. Then in this definition, to more understand, initially I am taking in our day-to-day life something like in business also. You can see Foxconn strategy. When we were in small ages, we heard about this story. දැන් මේ හැම දෙනෙක්ම අහලා තියෙනවානේ නරියා සහ කේජු කෑල්ල කියන කතාව. දැන් ඒ කතාවෙනොත් පෙන්වුම් කරන්නේ a shrewd or smart way of determining and achieving one's goals and objectives. You know that fox is a very cunning animal in the jungle, in the forest. One day fox is traveling via the forest or jungle. He saw that one of the crows having a piece of cheese on the branch. Yeah, දැක්කා කපුටේ කේජු කෑල්ලක් අරගෙන අත්තක් උඩ ඉන්නවා ගහක්. Then the fox is having some kind of a goal. What about? How nice. If I have this piece of cheese, how I can get it? Then the fox is very cunning animal. So wisely decided, I want this objective goal and how I can achieve it. He decided, the fox, you know that fox, what he applied, he explained the crow's beautifulness. You are very beautiful animal, your feathers are very nice, color is very nice, how about your voice? Maybe sweet. Then the crow is decepted. Then when the crow once says that kaka, what happened? The piece of cheese is fallen to the earth. Then the fox is taken it. Fox took it. So what about a good example? Then the fox decide his goal and decide how to achieve it. Then likewise we can also apply in the organizational context also their strategy, decide their goals and objectives and decide their achieving it. It's something like in a very wisely, intelligently. The other thing is fishing industry. You know that this is a fishing industry. In Sri Lanka also, not in, I'm talking about in large, the fisheries industry, then fishing in sea, huge nets they use. Net is something like a trap to catch the fish. Like in Sri Lanka, the reservoirs and something like inside, then some people, they use the fishermen, they use to catch the fish. They use the something like a trap. මේ වගේ උගුලක් හදලා ඒ උගුලට තමයි මේ මාළුවව අල්ලගන්නේ. This is something like a strategy they use. If they want to achieve their objective, catching the fish, and how to catch the fish, then they use the trap, the way of catching the fish. They decide to use a particular trap. මේ වගේ මාළුව අල්ලගන්න උගුල් මේව කරලා මාළුවව අල්ලගන්න. අපි කියනවානේ ඇමක් දීලා මාළුවව අල්ලගන්න කියලා. It is something like the way of achieving something. Not only that, I have taken, you heard about that Trojan horse strategy in the world. Trojan horse. If you go to the internet, you can find out Trojan horse. දැන් මේ විෂයන් ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට මේවා ටිකක් ලෝකයේ සම්බන්ධව දැනගන්න ඕනේ history එක ගැන සහ present business world. Later on, I'll take a lot of examples in future topics also from the business world. You heard about Trojan horse strategy. Trojan horse strategy means when you go to the internet, you can in detail hear about what about this strategy. In Greek, you know that the Greek city, the Greek soldiers, they fight with to catch the Troy city. මේ Greek soldiers ලා Troy කියන city එක අල්ලගන්න. Actually, in Greek literature, this is very popular, this story. You heard about in Greek a lot of wars were practiced. In Troy city, then to catch the Troy city, the Greek soldiers, they fight a long period of time. Then Greek ජාතීන් fight කළා මේ Troy city කියන එක අල්ලගන්න රාජධානිය නගරේ. නමුත් මේගොල්ලෝ fight කළා අල්ලගන්න බැරි වුණා. Sometimes they abandoned. The long years after, again Greek soldiers, they thought of that. One of the goals is to catch the Troy city, to acquire the Troy city. Then they develop a strategy. They develop a very intelligent, wise way. What about? They decided to make the artificial horse. This horse is called as a Trojan horse. You can see this artificial horse then is made by wooden. Very beautiful horse. And you can see in this side, in this area, very huge area, this is like a door, and hide very brave soldiers. Make atule Greek very strong soldiers la hangena pulang idiyata haduwa. Then after having made this what about the ready-made horse by wood, and it is like a pretended horse. ඒක අර හොඳ ලස්සන අස්සෙක් විදියට මවලා පෙන්නන එක. And one day the Greek people, soldiers, they prepare this horse and push to the Tri-City gate. මේ Tri-City වල main gate එක ළඟට ගෙනල්ලා මේ gate එක open කරලා Tri-City එකට තල්ලු කළා මේ Trojan horse. But Tri-City people, they thought of that, how nice, a very beautiful horse. But they don't know this is the strategy. Everything inside, there are brave soldiers are hidden. But what happened? Then the Trojan horse is pushed to the තල්ලු කරගෙන ගියා Troy city එක ඇතුළට gate එකකින් එන්ට වෙලා. Then actually the Troy soldiers, they come to near to the horse, but they never think about that this is something like a strategy. But when the Troy soldiers come to see the horse, but within inside, what about the soldiers? They come out at once and they fight to Troy soldiers, but Troy soldiers, they haven't prepared. they haven't or they didn't think about it. This is a strategy to come to fight them. So what happened at that time? The Greek soldiers are very strong, but the Troy soldiers, they haven't prepared it. They didn't prepare it. Ultimately, the Greek soldiers, they acquired the Troy city. That is the very popular strategy, Trojan horse strategy. Actually, when you visit there in Troy city at present also, this Trojan horse is there as a memorable thing. You can see as a memorable thing. Yes. Then you can easily understand, and there are a lot of videos are there. You can see what I talk about Trojan horse strategy. All these I have given to you to think about. Then what about the strategy in common way, a shrewd or smart way of determining and achieving one's goals and objectives. Now you know that in here, I think the most of the students are Buddhist, but other students also in other different religion. But we are common in the Jataka stories about Dagameti. You know, Jataka Kata Eke Balanda Nalla Pana Jatake. Then what about the wise monkey leader? How they drink the water from a font. Pokunaking Jalarakusaka Berila Kohumada Jale Pane Kali strategy.
Your marketing funnel has changed, and the future is dark.
I think wise strategy. I don't have much time because when I discuss other students, but I have taken a lot of stories. But unfortunately, I don't have much time to discuss with you. But a lot of stories are there to understand what is the term strategy. The other thing is, you know that business world. I told you that now you know that sometimes some season period or some other time period also when you visit to supermarket. Some other supermarket, if you buy 2, 1 is free. Some food item. Making dekak gatto, dekak free. But you thought of that, how nice. Then sometimes you will buy. And bring at home, today is the expired date. May dekak nikunala ekak nikan denne ada thamai expired date. But you can't eat today itself. එක දවසකින් ඉවර කරන්න බෑ. Then you know that the organization want to increase the, what about? Want to increase the sales. Want to increase the sales. Then very wisely, intelligently use a strategy, the way of achieving it. Some situations, you know that season time, then some situation, I could see some sales are there. Then if you buy 2 shirts, 1 shirt is having free. Dekak shirts gattot ekak nikan. Gedara avilla balawama 1 shirt is damaged. Now you know that how that organization, they want to increase their sales, or they want to sell their what about the damaged shirts also. Small damage is there. That's why they are giving 1 is free when the customer buy 2. And now I can remember a good example. 2 days before I went to the Arpico. Then they sell, if you buy 2 packets of cornflakes, 1 is free. Huge cornflake packets, dekak gatto dekak free. 2 days before, not long time. So I also bought it, but I noticed that then in next week is the expiry date. I think local price එකක් තියෙන cornflakes packets දෙකක් ගන්නකොට එකක් free දෙනවා. I think බැලුවාම මම නම් දන්න නිසා මම බලනවා. නමුත් මට අවශ්‍යතාවය නිසා then if there are children, they eat. So then I bought it. But they are selling like that way because expiry date is next week. So then you can see the different organizations. Sometimes if they want to increase their sales, a lot of strategies they apply. The advertising strategies, how about? Then they apply this the cunning and shrewd and intelligent and wisely decide their goals and objectives and decide how to achieve them. Yes, then examples I have given to you. The other thing is strategy. Sometimes strategy is identified as a decision. Earlier also one student talked about that when I ask what is a strategy, it is a decision. Eka tiranya or stream of decisions. Tirana samudaya. For what? Taken to determine. Either maybe a decision, tiranya ko tirana samudaya, determine where you want to be. Kohita they unknown. And how you should get there. Kohuma they unknown. It is a strategy. Now, I think when I ask most of the students from their organization context experience, they talk about that to determine where to go, vision, goals, long-term goals. And it is an activity or activities, how to reach it, how you should get there. In තවත් විදියකට කියන්න පුළුවන් strategy එකක් කියන්නේ තීරණයක් හෝ තීරණ සමුදායක් කොහෙටද අනාගතේ යන්නේ ඒ යන්නේ කොහෙද තීරණය කිරීමත් එතෙන්ට යන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා තීරණය කිරීමත් තමයි strategy එකක් කියන්නේ. So we can understand this definition also from practical examples also. Now think about in your organization context. Something like some organization, their future, where you want to be, to become market leader. අපි හිතමු bank එකක් තියෙනවා මේ bank එකේ ඊළඟ මේ long term goal එක තමයි to become market leader. To become market leader. To achieve it, what they decide. Some actions to become market leader, to introduce new products. Aluth bhanda introduce karna, expand the market. Egalo then local market eකට දෙන්නේ international market එකටත් යන්න යනවා. They modifications the product. Modifications. Diversified. තව භාණ්ඩ වලට යනවා. Diversified. Likewise, they decide how to get there to become the market leader. Industry එකේ වෙළඳපොළ නායකයා වෙන්න නම් ඒක තමයි යාලට යන්න ඕනේ තැන තව next 5 years. ඉතින් මොනවද කරන්නේ? Then the whole thing is identified as the taken decision or stream of decisions identified as strategy. Then I have explained the Foxconn strategy and Trojan strategy. Where to go, or determining goals and objectives and determining how to reach it. Yes. Students, have you understood what is the strategy in a common way? Common understanding. You can now add many examples from business world. තමන්ගේ organization එකේ වැඩ කරන තැන නැත්නම් තමන්ගේ ආයතනයේ බලන්න කොච්චර උදාහරණ ගන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ strategy එක define කරනවා නම් මේ විදියට practice එකෙත් අපිට පුළුවන් මේ විදියට define කරගන්න. ඉතින් ඒ සඳහා ඕන තරම් examples යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Students, is there any student you try to say something? Yes, good. Some students also earlier, they provide some examples similar to this, asking when I ask what is the strategy. Yes. Now, still we are understanding what is the strategy. Now you can see closely resembles the following terms. What about the resembles? Close meaning to the term of a strategy. Close meanings. මේ strategy කියන එකට ළඟින් යන තේරුම් තියෙන පද. Strategy closely resemble the following terms. මේ වචන වලිනුත් strategy කියන එක reflect වෙනවා. Action plan. Some students they talk about that. When you think about that your organization in a large scale organization, some other organization also, their strategic plan, action plan is there. Action plan means it talks about that activities. අපේ අරමුණු ඉටු කරගන්න මොනවද කරන්නේ? ඉතින් ඒකින්ද සමහර වෙලාවට මේ strategy කියන මාත්‍රයට සමාන යන පදයක් තමයි action plan in an organization. Something like a game plan. You know that in a sports, two groups, they are fighting, two teams, two competitors. Then sports වලදී කණ්ඩායම් දෙකක් නිතරම කරන්නේ. එතකොට game plan එකක්. How to win the game defeating other party. අනිත් පාටි එක group එක team එක පරද්දලා කොහොමද ජය ගන්න. Likewise in business world also when you use the strategy, always the strategy used to what? To compete with competitors, to overcome the competition. එකකින්ද එක game plan එකක් කියලා තියෙනවා. Ploy, plot, trap මේ ඔක්කොම උගුල කියන එක. Now you know that in hunting we apply the trap, plot, ploy. මේ ඔක්කොම තේරුම් strategy කියන වචනයට සමානයි. Program. Yes, program means a collection of activities. අපි වැඩසටහනක් කියන්නේ කාර්යයන් රාශියක එකතුවක්. ඉතින් ඒකත් හරියට strategy එකක් වගේ. Strategy means action, activities. Maneuver. Out with the competitor. කොහොමද තරංකරුව පවත් මේ out with the competitor. Defeat the competitor. Maneuver. Out with the competitor. Device. It is something like a particular strategy. Device කියන්නේ එක්තරා මාර්ගයක්. Device එක. Tactic. It is also very similar to the term strategy. And gimmick. Gimmick කියන්නේ මායාවක්. ඉතින් මේකත් strategy කියන වචනයට සමාන යන තේරුමක්. Trick එකක්. A particular way. Purpose. Something like in business context also, strategy means a purpose to achieve something. You know that earlier also the terms when we define a strategy, it relates with to achieve something. Solution, something like a bring the solution. Now, nowadays, you know that because of the crisis situation, some organization, they revisit their strategies and they introduce or modify new strategies. It is a solution. Policy. Sometimes strategy means policy. Some organization pricing policy, advertising policy. It is a strategy. The position. Strategy is position in the organization. And strategy එකෙන් කරන්නේ stand කරන organization එකක් නේද? Stand position එකක් කියන්නේ එක්තරා තත්ත්වයක් නේ, a particular situation. Now you know that some organization it's similar to the strategy. You know that Toyota automobiles, high price, high quality. What about the Japanese products? High price, high quality. Chinese product, how position? Low price, low quality. Likewise in Sri Lanka also some organization they position. I can remember not now. I think when you travel not highway, the down south. When you travel to down south, I think passing Kalutara, it is very popular earlier. Moni's Sweet restaurant, Moni's Sweet House. Then it is positioned like very taste, very high quality sweets. The position, their strategy, the position in the world or position in the environment, position in the world. It is something like action. Sometimes we identified as it is action, a particular activity. Move. Venasima. Strategy means a move. Now I talk about that most of the supermarkets, they move to online deliveries in Sri Lanka. Before the COVID, they are not much practice, but online deliveries now the most of the supermarkets. Stance, a particular way, a particular standing. Ektara stance එකක් කියන්නේ එක්තරා දෘෂ්ටිකෝණයක්. The strategy means. Perspective. Yes, how they can see the world. Perspective. Now you know that in perspective, something like a particular way of seeing something. You know that the perspective, the Sampath Bank. In Sri Lanka, Sampath Bank perspective is their strategies always absorb the new technology. But other banks also they copied it. Sampath Bank යාලගේ එක perspective එකක් තමයි every time they are taking the advanced technology. They apply the advanced technology. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැම strategy එකක්ම දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ATM machine, what about networking, everything. First time Sampath Bank introduced. Other banks they applied. Therefore, we can say a particular way of thinking something. It is a strategy. Very close meaning. Practice. Ek prayogika දෙයක් as an art. It is a practice. අපි art එකක් කියන්නේ ප්‍රායෝගික දෙයකට මෙතනදී. Pattern. You know that it is something like a particular style, pattern. You know that something like some organization, their product pattern is similar. Now you heard about later on, I'll come to discuss some examples. At that time, I will show you a pattern. A perception, perspective කියන්නේ දෘෂ්ටිකෝණයක් කියන එක strategic එකකින් දකින්න පුළුවන්. How perceive the world. Sometimes some organization, they perceive the world through using the advanced technology. දැන් ඔය සම්පත් බැංක් මං කිව්වා හැමතිස්සෙම ඒගොල්ලෝගේ perspective එක තමයි new technology කොහොමද banking services වලට apply කරගන්න දෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ services. Perception means the Sampath Bank, they perceive that the customers always they like to have new advanced technology using the banking services. ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතනවා customers ලා හැමතිස්සෙම කැමති අලුත් තාක්ෂණය යොදාගෙන මේ අපිට බැංකු ගනුදෙනු කරන්න තියෙනවා. Now you know that's why the because of the COVID-19, the banks, they use the artificial intelligence. Now, most of the transactions we can do without going to the bank. Actually, that kind of a good things came out during the COVID-19. But in other developed countries, they are there. But after the COVID-19, Sri Lankan banks also, then they applied many things. Yes, not physically coming to the bank. Now, these are very close meanings. Students, at what time do you want a break? Tell me.
Yes, madam.
Yes means what?
Yeah.
Then only.
Yeah.
Now the 3:15, 3:30 you will come back. Okay? Is it
Okay.
enough?
Enough.
Enough. Okay. Students, have a break now and come back 3:30. Okay? With having a fresh mood, having a cup of tea and something like sitting on the chair long time, it is uncomfortable. So, and you go and 3-4 times jumps and again come to the sheet and have a cup of tea and coming with the fresh mind. Okay, have a break.
Recording stopped.